And it is so important to take care of yourself and your mental health and to make sure that your happiness comes before school. Hello and welcome back to my channel. This is Nicole, and today I am going to be sharing a few tips on how you can be a better student, because I know for some people, including myself, midterms are coming up, and not only will it help you with midterms, but it will help you with your finals. It will also help you to just be less stressed as a student. And for those of you who are not students but are workers, these tips can actually help you as well. Before I get into the tips and tricks, please don't forget to smash that subscribe button if you haven't already. And now let's get to the point. Tip number 1 is putting yourself on a regular sleep schedule. It is so important to be on a regular sleep schedule for your circadian rhythm. Your circadian rhythm is your internal clock. It's your regular sleep-wake cycle. So if you're going to bed at the same time every night and waking up at the same time every morning, you're more likely to get restful sleep. You're less likely to wake up in the middle of the night. And it's just so much nicer. For those of you who are on a regular sleep schedule, you may notice that even if you forget to set your alarm, you typically wake up around the same time naturally. That is because of your internal clock. And you may notice that you get sleepy around the same time at night. So if your family is hosting a random movie night on a weekend night, you're still likely to fall asleep early, or maybe you're dozing off in the middle of that movie. That's because of your regular sleep schedule. That's because your body is used to going to sleep and waking up at the same time, and that helps with reducing stress, that helps with motivation, that helps with productivity. It just overall is so helpful, and I will be showing you how you can improve your sleep schedule and how you can put yourself on a sleep schedule. So if you're like me, your phone is probably in your hand at all times of the day, or maybe not all times of the day, but the majority of the day. And so what I have learned and what I have done is I put my phone on something called downtime from midnight until 6 a.m. because that way I'm not staying up past midnight and I'm not checking my phone in the middle of the night when I am waking up. 6 hours of sleep is not ideal, but I know that I'm not going to check my phone if I wake up in the middle of the night to see if I have notifications, because I'm not going to receive those notifications. And for those of you who are Apple users, all you have to do is go into your settings and go into something called screen time and then activate downtime. And if you even want to put more restrictions on yourself, you can activate app limits, which puts certain timing on certain apps that you choose. Like if you notice that you are on an app for too long each day and you want to reduce that so you are more productive, you can activate that as well. And for my Android users, I'm not really 100% sure what the setting in your phones are called, but I think it's called digital well-being, and for me it has helped me so much. I shoot for 8 hours of sleep a day, so I'll set my alarm for 8:30 in the morning every day, regardless of whether it is the weekend or not. Sometimes on the weekends I'll let myself sleep in an extra 30 minutes, but because of my internal clock, my body doesn't usually let me do that. But I've noticed that putting app limits and setting downtime has helped me significantly in getting better and more restful sleep. Also, you want to make sure that you put yourself in an environment that will provide for optimal sleep, such as lights off. Unless you're blind, I guess it doesn't really matter. You want less noise distractions unless you actually sleep better with noise. I mean, for me, I need it to be quiet because I'm such a light sleeper and every little noise will wake me up. And I know a lot of people don't want to do this, but you shouldn't have your pets crawling around your bed because they're most likely going to wake you up in the middle of the night. And more restful sleep equals more attentiveness, which equals better grades in the long term. Tip number 2 is don't cram. Practice spaced studying. It's so much better. Oh my goodness, I can't even explain to you how much this has helped me in becoming a better student, because I promise you, All of these tips and tricks that I'm sharing today, I used to not follow when I first started college, and I went from a 2.7 GPA to a 3.85. So it does significantly make a difference. I'm not just saying these for a YouTube video just because I want views. I'm actually saying these because I genuinely want to help people. And so cramming is only going to help you remember the material for this coming exam. It is not going to help you remember the information for your midterm. It's not going to help you remember the information for your final. It's not going to help you remember the information for those board exams 2 years down the line. You want to be the best student that you can be. You don't want to just remember things for the moment. You want to remember things for the long term, because essentially when you're practicing what you're studying, you don't want to be Googling everything. That's just not professional. Me personally, I don't want to go to a doctor that crammed the night before their exam, when I can go to a doctor who actually knows their information. So it might not be stressful to cram the night before an exam. It might not be stressful to cram the night before a midterm because there's not that much material. But when you're cramming for that final, when you have 20 chapters and a semester of notes, you're definitely going to feel it. You're going to be tired, you're going to be stressed, you're going to have anxiety. It's just not going to be fun. Trust me, I've been there, I hated it, and I don't want anyone else to go through that. It's not fun. And so my tip is to space your studying out. Try to come up with a nice schedule. Come up with a routine. Let's say, for example, you are taking 3 classes. Each one is 4 credits. So you're taking 12 credits. Essentially, you're supposed to study at least the amount of hours that your credits are. So if you have a 4 credit class, you want to be studying at least 4 hours for that class per week. So what I would recommend doing is, let's just say you have those 3 classes, 4 credits each. Say you want to study Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I would say study for, let's say you have math, science, and history. So Monday you study for math, science, and history. Tuesday, switch it up a little bit. Study for history, science, math. Another thing that's really important is making sure that you don't study everything in the same order every day, because your brain typically remembers the first set of information and the last set of information that you studied. So if you're studying the same order every day, you're less likely to remember that middle class's information. So try to study differently each day. When you are studying, make sure that you are taking notes as you're studying, even if you've already taken notes from class, because you want to make sure that you are weaving out the information that you already know and that you already understand and that you're super familiar with. You don't want to keep studying over and over again the things that you understand. You want to focus more on the things that you don't understand, because that's what you're going to struggle with the most when you have an exam, is the things you don't understand are going to be the things that will give you lower grades. It's still important to review the things that you do understand, but it's very important to focus on the things that you don't understand. That way you're not wasting too much time studying and you actually have more free time to do other things. Also, please make sure that you are practicing spaced studying. Like if you're studying math, science, and history on Monday, study each one for an hour. But please take breaks. It is so important to take breaks. Even though I focus, like maybe I give myself an hour per subject, I still take a break every 30 minutes, as long as I am not super focused and if I can handle 1 hour, I will study for an hour straight. But you're more likely to remember the information if you take breaks. So for sure, take breaks between each subject, regardless of whether you're motivated or not, because it is so helpful and it will improve your studying skills. And finally, I just want to say for this tip, I would say make your schedule weekly. Try to make your schedule on Sundays so that you can plan ahead and you're not making your schedule each day, because that might be a little more stressful, and it'll also give you an idea of what assignments and what exams are coming up soon, so you can make your schedule accordingly. And finally, tip number 3 is take care of yourself. Make a schedule for yourself that allows you to be a person outside of being a student. I can't stress this one enough. This one honestly was my biggest problem as a student, probably the first 3 years of college, because I did not allow myself to be a person outside of being a student. It destroyed my mental health. I was always so stressed out. I literally would not hang out with anyone. I would pretty much just be like, I can't, I'm studying, I'm busy, I can't do this, I can't do that. My friends always wanted to hang out with me and I just couldn't. Like, I didn't allow myself to do it because one, I wasn't on a regular study schedule. I was not on a good sleep schedule, so I was always tired. I used to cram. I was just a bad student, I feel like. Oh my gosh. But now I allow myself to have free time. I'd say in the last 2 years of being a student, I have just as much free time as I have as much time to study, which is very important. You need that balance. Find some hobbies, go out with your friends, do things that you enjoy. Maybe you're spending 3 hours a day studying on top of being in classes. Still give yourself that 1, 2, 3 hours of watching Netflix if you want to. You deserve that break, because if you do not let yourself be a person outside of being a student, you are going to be more stressed, you're going to be more unmotivated, and you're probably going to hate school. And if you're studying to be a doctor, a nurse, a lawyer, a graphic designer, anything that you are studying, you are not going to have as much passion for it if you are constantly stressed and unmotivated. So I definitely say treat yourself, because your mental health is the most important thing that you can focus on. So please, as much as you are a student, you are also a human being, and it is so important to take care of yourself and your mental health, and to make sure that your happiness comes before school. If you couldn't tell by now, I'm very passionate about being a good student. I'm very passionate about motivation. I'm very passionate about being goal-oriented, and so this video is one of my favorites to record. If you would like to see any more videos like these, like maybe I can make a video on how to be more goal-oriented, how to set goals, how to achieve goals, and just how to be more productive, more motivated, please let me know in the comments below. Also, if you haven't already, please don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to hit that bell so you never miss a notification, and don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. I will catch you on the next video. I love you guys. Bye.
It's been years since I had a change. Always a watch out. Lighter to the gasoline. Oh, couldn't hold me. Now I'm living better days. Hot chick in a black Corvette. Like she drove her